All right, team. I think we're live. Giving the StreamYard thing a blast. He's a bit bored. See he's about. Let's do a sound check. Make sure it's working. Looks like it. That's good. So we have a card this weekend with a couple of heavyweight dust ups on it. This is how we do it. There we go. We got Fabio Wardley and Richard Latte. We also have Alan Bavick and Tom Little on the card. I think the Wardley versus Latte fight's a good little test for Fabio Wardley. It's a considerable step up, in my opinion. Richard Latte's not the most skilled boxer, but if you let him hit you, he's going to knock your freaking head off. I'm not exactly sure how I share a link on this, so I'll try it. Maybe just copy the URL and drop it. I think that's how you might do it. Let's see. Is that how we do it? I think that's how we do it. So if anybody wants to jump on and have a yarn about anything boxing, you're quite welcome too. So like I was saying, yeah, Richard Latte and Fabio Wardley could be an interesting fight. I expect Fabio Wardley's probably going to win on points. Latte's got a bit of a chin. I don't think Wardley hits extremely hard, but we just don't know yet. So we'll see what happens with it. But yes, we had some news. Deontay Wilder has started calling out a few fighters, but he said his quote, I believe, was I want Dillian White and Dillian White and Dillian White, which is pretty interesting to me considering. Oh, Dillian White's just Eddie Hearn's little spare tire. I could put him off for 2 years. Now all of a sudden, Dillian White could potentially get his interim title and mandatory spot back for the WBC. Now he wants to fight him. So he didn't want to fight him when he had nothing to offer. Now he's got something, or potentially got something. He wants to fight him. Excuse the background noise. I got a boy homesick with conjunctivitis. The old eyes glued shut. So, but Dillian White, after Tyson Fury gave Wilder the beatdown of his life, did say on camera that he doesn't care if he's got a belt or not. He would like to fight him. But as it stands, Dillian's busy anyway. He's got a fight. It's looking like it's going to be January 30th, a rematch with Alexander Povetkin. So I think that fight's off the table just for now. Deontay also said he wouldn't mind fighting Andy Ruiz. I mean, that's something many fans have speculated for ages, ever since Joshua redeemed himself. They're both PBC fighters, but as we know, Andy Ruiz wants a tune-up fight on his way back, so he's looking to fight Chris Arreola. And then he was looking at fighting Luis Ortiz, but I'm sure he'd be more interested in fighting Deontay Wilder. But once again, that's down the track. He also mentioned Robert Helenius. The only reason I can see him wanting that fight is because Helenius has the WBA gold title. And that's possibly a path back to a title for Deontay. Get that off screen, see if I can manage it. I think that's how we do it, yo. It is. And then he also mentioned Joseph Parker. So that's a fight that was spoken about, but there simply wasn't enough money in it for either guy. Parker was offered $750,000 US for a unification when Parker was champion, and Parker walked away from it. It's just not enough money. But both Robert Helenius and Joseph Parker, as far as I know, have fights. I mean, Parker's fighting Junior Farr on the 12th of December, same day as the AJ Pulev card, which I'll get to very shortly. There's a couple of other fights on that card confirmed to talk about now. And Robert Helenius, as far as I know, is also going to be rematching Adam Kovnarski. I will actually just look that up to be. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet. Adam Kovnarski. There he is. It's not confirmed as yet. And Kovnarski at the moment currently suspended by the New York State Athletic Commission. That'll just because his license is expired and hasn't renewed it or hasn't done a medical since he got sparked by Robert Helenius. So don't take too much note of that if you look at Adam Kovnarski's BoxRec profile. So yeah, none of those fights that Deontay Wilder has spoken about is possible at the present time because they've all got fights they want to fight somewhere else or are fighting somewhere else. So I don't know. Is it just talk and bluster? I don't know. Surprising that he didn't mention AJ in any of his fights that he wanted, but as we know, AJ is booked up for a long time, and you get that when you hold 3 of the 4 recognized belts. So we've got this AJ v Pulev card. I will just get that up. Give me a sec here. Actually, I might try something a bit different here. Pull a Raffy, see if that works. See if I can find an image. Now that looks like a dumb way of doing it. Doesn't work very well. So I'll do what I was going to do in the first place. Just pull the card up on BoxRec. Get in there, folks. Give me a sec here. All right. Joshua Pulev cards. Let's get that up on screen. Is that how we do it? Think so. So we got Anthony Joshua and Kirat Pulev, obviously. Kirat Pulev being the IBF excuse me, mandatory Also on the card, which has been confirmed for quite a while, a snooze fest. Mind you, it's a snooze fest with every fight this dude is in. Lawrence Okoli going to be fighting for the WBO cruiserweight title against Krzysztof Glowacki. I mean, Glowacki's a former WBO title holder. He lost his title in the World Boxing Super Series to Alexander Usyk. And Myris Briedis and Glowacki fought for the vacant title in the second season for cruiserweights of the WBSS. Now that fight ended with controversial circumstances. I mean, Glowacki hit Briedis behind the head. Briedis retaliated with a full-on MMA elbow, but the fight didn't get stopped there. Glowacki got up off the floor after being elbowed, then got stopped. But the WBO ordered a rematch because of the dodgy circumstances, and obviously Myris Briedis couldn't take the rematch because he had to continue with the World Boxing Super Series. So now Glowacki gets to fight the number one contender in the WBO, being Lawrence Okoli, for that title. The fight itself, I'm interested to know who the referee's going to be. Have they got that on here yet? Let's have a look. There's the belt. Cruiserweight, World Boxing, Lawrence Okoli. Doesn't look like it says who the referee's going to be. Rankings. No, we don't have officials yet. But I watched a couple of Okoli fights, and this dude really does need to start getting some points docked for holding. I mean, he excessively holds. He's not fun to watch. And you know what? I think this fight, along with one that was confirmed yesterday, Hughie Fury versus Mariusz Vuk, I think those two fights have been put on there to make the AJ Pulev fight look better. Seriously, because we all know what Hughie Fury fights like. He's not an exciting dude to watch. He dance around all night, pop a jab out there, miss the jab a lot of the time, throw the odd right hand. He's not aggressive enough. He's got fantastic feet and hasn't got the hands to go with it. So those two snooze fest fights on there, to me, are just there to make the Pulev Joshua fight look better. We've got a few commenters in the house now. Good to have y'all in. We got Joseph. Yo, what's up? Big boys. Still the sky, brother, even though we've just had a huge downpour of rain here in Auckland after a week of sunshine. But I'm all goods, brother. Hope you're doing the same. Phil Carl Roberts in the house as well. Hughie Fury versus Mariusz Vuk. Sounds like a stinker. Well, I'm sure Mariusz Vuk's going to try. I mean, it's like... Excuse me. Flynn, keep your voice down a bit, please. Yeah, Mariusz Vuk will try and throw hands. I mean, we saw him actually do not too bad against Dillian White. For a 40-plus fighter, he threw his hands a bit, and it was a little bit of entertainment. But he's not quick enough to catch Hughie, and Hughie's not aggressive enough to knock out Wok, so it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Intangible Boxing News also in the house. Hello, man. Hope you're doing well. Bakoli versus Kuzman is easily the fight of the card on there. As far as I'm concerned, both guys are going to come to fight. Kuzman's a bit of a fat, lazy slob, but if he comes into the fight in really good shape, then I'd give him a decent chance of possibly doing something in there. But he always comes in pretty chubby. He looked very one-dimensional when he fought Michael Hunter. But to be fair, Michael Hunter is a mover. He's got a lot of skill. But I'm picking Bacoli in that fight. It might even be worth looking for a stoppage later on in the fight if you're a betting man. Bacoli will start to get points taken off him when he goes up in level. I'm not sure what you mean by that one there, Phil. Points taken off him. What for? Low blows, because he throws a lot of hooks to the body and some of them do stray low. Is that what you mean? Intangible boxing news. I don't understand how people say Barangic Cepeda was better than Marius Vuk versus Kevin Johnson. Man, that was a damn good fight. It's the first time I've seen Kevin Johnson throw hands properly in a long time. He actually tried to win the fight. It was a big surprise. But I think just the drama from Barangic and Cepeda. I mean, both guys were down, was it 4 or 5 times? One of them down 4, one down 5. I think Cepeda was down 4 or 5 times. I mean, we didn't see that many knockdowns. We didn't see any knockdowns with Johnson and Wok, did we? Yeah, fouls. Okay, got you, Phil. Quite possible, man. We will see if he gets a point taken off. Maybe he won't go so low. But he's not the biggest guy, is he? So it's easier for him to put those blows low by accident. If he keeps doing it, he should get disqualified, obviously. But I think if we've got a decent referee for Akoli and Glavatsky, I think that dude needs to get disqualified to learn a freaking lesson. That dude he holds more than Vladimir Klitschko when he was through his reign of the heavyweight division. But I think it's a ploy from Eddie Hearn to put those stinking fights on the card to make the Joshua Pulev fight look better. I mean, it's not a fight anybody was calling for. It is a mandatory, and it's been pending for a long time. So I just want to see that one done out of the way so Joshua can move on to either a Fury fight or a Usyk fight. He is worse. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's a point. He's trying to use his long attributes, and if guys get inside on him, he ties them up. But it'd be good to see him start throwing a few uppercuts to try to deter people from coming in. Later on in the fight, when both guys are tired, I could understand a little bit more clinching. But earlier on, he's got to show something to deter these guys from coming in, man. Rather than just grab and hold all the time. So if we get a decent referee, he's gonna get disqualified one day. Elbows, shoulders, low blows. Yeah, he's a pretty rough fighter, eh? You name it, Akoli does it. You meaning Akoli or Bacoli? Or both? I mean, Bacoli's probably a bit cleaner than Akoli. Having those two on the same cards, good recipe for tongue twister disasters, really, isn't it? The following week after that, we've got Tony Yoka and Christian Hammer. It'd be worth a look. It's a pretty much predetermined result, I think. But Christian Hammer's very durable. If he thinks he's got a chance, then he does throw hands. But if he knows he's well outgunned after the first round or two, then he shells up, and we won't see a lot come out of him. And I think he's probably got the goods to be able to survive defensively. We've seen him do it against a few fighters. Luis Ortiz. Did Tyson Fury stop him? Might have stopped him, didn't he? Can't remember. Getting old, so memory's getting a bit shot. Yeah, not a lot happening for the heavyweights this weekend. Ooh, I just want to look something up. Haven't checked on it in over a week. Emia, is he on to that Parker card yet or not? Let's find out. His fight against Junior Patti got cancelled. That was supposed to be early November. And he still hasn't got a fight scheduled. Damn, I was hoping he was going to get on that Parker card. Let's have another look at that card too, because what's his name? Heavyweight amateur New Zealand Commonwealth gold medalist David Naika is making his pro debut on that card. He was going to be fighting the almighty TBA. I can't spell his last name, so I'll just do it this way. Jeez, I can't even spell Joseph. A bit dyslexic today. And that's not meant to be offensive to anybody who is actually dyslexic. Here's the event. Boom. So David Naika is still fighting the almighty TBA. God damn it. That sucks. The other fight on the card is David Light, New Zealand's top professional cruiserweight. He's 16-0, and he's going to be taking on Mosi Awamatangi. I've seen him fight quite a few times. I think he's probably more suited to light heavyweights. I've seen him fight at heavyweight before too. I'll just have a quick look at the stats here. We're probably not going to have any. Yeah, we don't. Cruiserweight Orthodox is all they got. I think he's only about 6 foot flat from memory. Let's just have a look at a few of his weights. Why am I not got any weights? Can't be signed in. I am signed in, so why haven't I got the goddamn weights? Maybe they just don't have the information. There's some weights here. 181, so he could make light heavy if he really wanted to, and there you go, 167.5, so he can make light heavyweight. Okay, Mosi Matangi. But he comes to fight, man. He'll give it his all. So it could be interesting to see how he goes against David Light, who's got a bit of experience under his belt now. Yeah, hopefully we're going to get some more confirmations for that card. I was hoping maybe we might get some Aussie fighters over, but there's a big card over in Aussie coming up as well with Paul Gallen and Mark Hunt on it. Also, Tim Sue versus Bowen Morgan. And I believe Dempsey McKean actually had a confirmed fight on there. Was it Dempsey McKean and Bowie Tupou? Let's have a look at Dempsey McKean. Yeah, excuse the background noise. My boy's on the Xbox. Oh, we got someone popped in. Now, give me a sec here. I'm just going to make sure I know how to work this goddamn thing. We got Adam Fahey in the house. Do I just click on it? How do I add you in, man? Is that it? You're in. I think I got you, Adam.
Yo, what's going on?
Not a lot, man. How are you doing?
Just parked up on the side of the road in the middle of a lunch break, mate.
Oh, sweet. Working man, huh?
Oh, got it. Jeez.
Got it. Yeah, I was looking at this Aussie card. But have you heard anything about who David Naika might be facing on that Parker card?
No, I haven't
TBA
actually.
on Box Rec. Okay. All right, so I'm looking at this Aussie card, and yeah.
They were going through to check his Olympic credentials, like making sure if he has a pro card. So that could well be different for New Zealand competitors, like we have seen with some others, John Love and the likes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess the announcement can't be too far away, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm looking at this card in Aussie with the Tim Sue and oh, I thought Bowie Tupou and Dempsey McKean were going to be on that card, but it looks like they've got their own separate card. Interesting.
No, Tim's just down a bit lower.
Oh, it is too. Yeah, okay. I don't know why they've got Dempsey McKean at the top. Okay. So, Dempsey McKean and Bowie Tupou. What do you reckon of that fight, man?
Tupou will come to fight. I just reckon it might be sort of a mid to late stoppage for Dempsey.
Yep.
Yeah. It'd be quite interesting. Like there was all that chat from Bob Arum about making this super card in Australia. So there is quite a few Aussie guys there that will be trying to put their name forward as someone exciting and worth viewing.
Okay. I'm just looking through Bowie Tupou's. Yeah, just looking through Bowie Tupou's record, and he's had a few wins, but he's had a couple of losses as well. He fought Hunter Sam and beat him. We know Hunter Sam's tricky journeyman level guy. He beat Julius Long, Randall Raymont. I don't know who that is, but he beat him. Oh no, he lost to him. Huh. Bowie Tupou lost by split decision over 6 to a no-name guy. He was 8-4. He's also got a win over Roger Eisenretti. Most of us would know who he is from down here. And then he came back and he beat the guy who beat him by split decision by KO in the 3rd round. That was his last fight. So, like you say, I think Bowie Tupou will come to fight like he did against Joseph Parker. But has Dempsey McKean got the power to stop him like that? I don't know. We better get your opinion on a couple of fights. I
sort of think it might be more of like a wearing.
You've dropped out. Would you stop talking?
Have I?
No, you're back again. Sorry, repeat that, bro. I lost you.
Oh, I stopped talking. So. Yeah. Oh, I stopped talking. Then I was listening to you there. You had a couple fights.
Oh, yeah, there's a couple fights coming up this weekend that have been announced with... sorry, just plugging my Ethernet cable in, make sure it's not me. We got on the is it Fabio Woodley and oh shit, it's all left my brain all of a sudden. Fabio Woodley and fill me in, man. You know who it is. It's this weekend.
Richard Larty.
Richard Larty. Could be a bit of a fun fight. What do you think of that one?
That will be interesting. Richard doesn't mind swinging, so it could be over very early, or it might be a bit of a barn burner. But I think Fabio should win that relatively comfortably. Yeah, it does create though a nice yardstick for how he fared against how Gorman and Daniel Dubois did themselves for his own sort of English sort of level guys. So
yeah, definitely. And we've also got Tom Little taking on Alan Babick. Do you think he can get through those magic 3 rounds?
I'll be interested to see if he can get through a magic 3 minutes.
Yeah, well, Alan Babick's proven that he's good to go full tit for more than 1 round. It was 2 rounds against was it Shondell Winters managed to go 2 rounds? Or was that the first round? No, it was Niall Kennedy managed to go 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, Niall Kennedy. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. The magic 3 rounds. If someone can get past those 3, Bavick might gas. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't think Tom Little's got the chin or the skills to be able to get through those magic 3 rounds.
It's the best. Yeah, sorry.
Where you go?
I was going to say it's the best he's actually looked from some of the photos I've seen of Tom Little. But yeah, if he can just sort of through that first round get a few good shots away into Babick's body, it'd be quite interesting to see how he takes those and how quickly he does in fact slow down.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, he sort of seems to have a 3-round gas tank, and he sort of seems like a guy who'd be walking dead at about 6 rounds. But yeah, I just don't think he can probably get through the onslaught as we're seeing with some of his more higher caliber sort of fights where he's lost to Hrgovic and the likes.
Indeed.
Any sort of pressure he sort of starts to fold a touch, but oh well, I'll be enjoying it while it lasts.
Definitely, and why the hell not? So I guess we're gonna talk a little bit about it. Deontay Wilder's come out and pointed out some fights that he would like. He said he wants Dillian White, and Dillian White. And if he can't have him, he wants Andy Ruiz. If he can't have him, he wants Robert Helenius. And if he can't have him, he wants Joseph Parker. Do you think any of those are likely, considering some of them are already busy, but maybe in the new year, could he get any of those fights?
I think Robert Helenius is very, very likely. Because I know from when they had that Kalnacki fight that PBC had an option on his next fight, and there was a lot going around that next fight would be Andy Ruiz. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if it was Helenius. The Parker one, I think, is just Wilder saying a pretty much well-known name to him as well. Same with Usyk. I don't really see those two coming off. Dillian White, he's got to beat Povetkin first, and I still favour Povetkin in that. So there's a few names there, but there's sort of, when you look at it, one sort of seems logical and all of a sudden stands out a lot more than the rest. Yeah,
I did have a look earlier because apparently they were going to run back that Kalnacki and Helenius fight, but there's nothing confirmed as yet. And I don't know if that was set in stone or not. It's just PBC trying to use up that option on Helenius maybe. And I think you're right. It might be the better option for PBC to have Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius. And it makes sense for him to try and get a WBA title shot through that route as well, doesn't it? Since Helenius has that gold title. So, yeah.
Yeah, one. Hey, I just got another call here, so I just got to jump off. Bro. So I'll see if I can catch back up.
Sweet, bro. All right, so Phil Cole Roberts in the chat. I'm guessing Flynn. Shh, not too loud. Sorry, can't help himself. That plea to Fury fell on deaf ears after all the bogus claims. Yeah, well, man, I guess he was trying to make Tyson Fury mad enough to say, I want to beat the shit out of you in the ring. But the way it is at the moment, no network wants to fight this year, so it's not going to happen. I mean, Tyson apparently did want to fight in the UK, but there's not enough money in it for him. Old Fish Eyes can't put up enough money for him to be able to even fight Edge Cabiel. So it's just not going to happen at the moment, for sure. Manda Solo, what's up, man? Hope you're well. Excuse me. I did see somebody mention that, it's because Shelley Finkel's taken legal action and now the fight can't happen. I mean, that's a possibility, but I can't see the legal leg to stand on if the contract has expired. So, it is what it is when it comes to that. So I don't think there is too much to say about it. Deontay Wilder wanting a Parker fight, I think is ridiculous to me because there wasn't enough money in it for either guy when Joseph Parker had a belt and Deontay Wilder had a belt. So how is there going to be more money in it now? I mean, I don't think we'll see Joseph Parker taking fights for under $1 million. $1 million New Zealand dollars, that is. That's what he was offered, $750 US to fight Wilder back when they both had titles, and that wasn't enough then. But to be fair, for a unification at heavyweight, nobody should be making $1 million or less. Hey, someone's just popped back in. Give me a sec here. Gator in the house. Okay, newbie. There we go. You're in, man.
What's going on, Jono?
No, it's Tommy. There you go. Tommy Temper in the house. Chatty, man.
So how you doing?
I'm doing well, mate. I'm doing well. So yeah, just having a bit of a rag on Wilder at the moment about some of the opponents that he mentioned. You would have heard the news about it. What's your opinion on it?
I haven't heard the opponents that have been mentioned, but the fact that he's talking about moving on kind of tells me that the Fury fight's not happening.
Yeah, that's what it points out to me as well. I think he's put his foot in his mouth with all the accusations and pissed Tyson Fury off, but not the way he wanted to piss him off. He wanted to piss him off so he could get him in the ring, but he's pissed him off, and now he's continuing around and saying, "No, you got nothing. See ya."
Yeah, that's what I thought. Cause it just looked like he was trying to get out his ego. He was trying to play to his heartstrings. He's just trying to goad him into getting to get in the fight. Yeah, but, I mean, I will say one thing. Wilder did give him the initial opportunity.
He did.
You can't take that away from him.
No, that is a fact. He did give him that opportunity. I mean, there is an argument there that it was an attempted cherry pick.
Oh, it was a cherry pick. It was.
Yeah. Or an attempt at a cherry pick.
Oh yeah, attempted, yeah.
But it is what it is. He says he blessed him with a second match, but unfortunately, the WBC had made Tyson the mandatory, so he had to fight him anyway. But the opponents that he did mention, he says he wants Dillian White to start with, which I found pretty amusing considering he's said in the past that Dillian White's Eddie Hearn's little black spare tire.
Damn. Brady doesn't want to freeze him out for a couple of more years.
Well, yeah, I did see an interview this morning, one that wasn't long after Fury Wilder 2, and Dillian's said on public that he's happy to fight Deontay Wilder whether he's got a belt or not. So if White can get past Povetkin in January and get that interim title back, that's why Wilder wants him now, because he would have something that he wants, in my opinion. But even if White loses, I'd still like to see him fight Wilder. All the talk that they had over the years.
Yeah.
Would you like to see that fight?
Yeah, I would. Even now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, both guys are coming off a loss. Could be a good sort of crossroad fights for each fighter.
Indeed. PBC Tactics is Phil Carl Roberts. Well, they're talking about some other stuff in the chat there as well. So the other opponents that he did mention, just for your information, Tommy, was Andy Ruiz was his second choice, Robert Helenius was his third choice, and Joseph Parker was his fourth choice.
Ooh. So Andy Ruiz and Joseph Parker.
Yeah, well, if he can't get one, he wants the next one, and then the next, and so on and so forth. But from what I understand, Andy Ruiz wants a tune-up, and it looks like it's going to be Chris Arreola before he gets into a serious fight. And he was looking at Luis Ortiz after that. But if Wilder wants to fight at that stage, I'm sure that'll happen, being both PBC stables. There's also Robert Helenius, the WBA gold title, another route to a title for Deontay Wilder, and PBC has an option on Helenius' next fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joseph Parker is his last choice, but I don't see that as realistic, considering there wasn't enough money in it for either guy when they both had belts. So why is there going to be enough money in it when they don't have belts?
What's the chances it'll give Ortiz a trilogy?
Well, will Ortiz want to fight him if he hasn't got a belt? I'm not so sure. I think Ortiz has got his own goals to try and obtain a title one way or another before he permanently needs a Zimmer frame. But that's just my opinion. Yeah.
No, I was being a bit facetious, actually, to be honest.
Fair enough. I missed that. All right, so a couple of fights this weekend. Heavyweight dust-ups. We've got Fabio Wardley taking on Richard Latte. How do you reckon that one's going to go, mate?
Oh, I don't know, mate.
I'm good on the bed, though.
I'm only up for the big fights. You know that. So that I don't know who these guys are.
Okay, fair enough. There's a couple of confirmed fights with names you might know for the Joshua card yesterday. We got the almighty Huey Fury taking on the chin of Wok, Marius Wok. Could that one be slightly entertaining for you think?
It might be the cure to insomnia, but that's about it. Two negative guys who don't really want to engage. No, that's going to be a snooze fest.
Well, I don't know if you've seen Marius Walker's last couple of fights. He's actually been not too bad. You would have seen him against White in Saudi. He didn't do too bad against White for a 40-plus fighter. But then he had a fight against Kevin Johnson where both of them were throwing hands. I don't know if you've seen that one, man, but if you can find it, you might want to go and have a look.
Okay.
It was pretty entertaining. You know, when you say Marius Wok and Kevin Johnson, you don't think entertainment, but...
well, the thing is, I don't think Wok's ever been the same since he fought Vlad. He took a beating in that fight, but he never got stopped. But I think that's the best he'll ever be, or he ever was. Yeah.
Well, he's only ever been stopped once, hasn't he? I think it was Martin Vicoli stopped him. Was it? I'm not sure off the top of my I think it is. I think it was Martin Bacoli who stopped him. It might have been on cuts even. I can't remember. But dude's got a hell of a chin. Not that it matters. I don't think Huey Fury's got any power to trouble him anyway. So that's what it is. And like you say, I think that's a bit of a sneeze fest. And it kind of goes hand in hand with Huey Fury and not Martin Okoli, Lawrence Okoli, who's also on that card. I think those fights are on there to make Joshua and Pulev look better. Just a sec, I'll sort this kid out. Sorry, Tommy. Bloody kid won't stop singing. Yeah. There is one interesting fight on that card, being Martin Bacoli and Sergey Kuzmin. I think it's going to be entertainment. Are you interested in that one at all?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, give us your take, man. What do you think's going to happen?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest, Johnny. And I recognize the names. I know it's going to be a high-profile fight, but that's about it.
Okay. They've both lost on points to Michael Hunter. So they've both only got one loss too. But could be interesting. I see Phil Carl Roberts is still in the chat, was thinking that maybe Martin Bacoli's going to end up getting points taken off him as he moves up in higher level fights due to fouls and low blows and shoulders and elbows and shit. But I think it's going to be an entertaining fight no matter what happens there.
I've got a question. Have you covered the new proposed weight division, the super cruiserweight?
I've had a little bit of a yarn about it here and there, but haven't really got into depth about it. So from what I hear, the weight limit is going to be 224 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't said anything about it yet, but they might move the WBC cruiserweight weight limit back down to 190 like it used to be. And if they do that, I think it's all fine and dandy. But if they're going to add another weight division, I think they should be getting rid of a couple of those small ones where they've only got 4 pounds between them.
What at the bottom?
Yeah, like 122, 118. No, 18. Like every what do they call them? Super division. Like you got your minimum weight, and the next one up, take that one out, then move up one, and then take the next one out after that. Take at least 2 of them, but I'd like to see 4 of them gone. Otherwise, it just looks like a money grab from the WBC to add more sanctioning fees to me. But there's certainly a group of fighters I think would be competitive in there. That would be good for them. What are your thoughts?
Sorry, what was the question, John?
What are your thoughts on the division?
I actually think it's a good idea. Because I think it was ESPN Friday nights. I remember watching that years ago, and they used to have heavyweight non-title fights, but they'd have blown up cruiserweights fighting at heavyweight just because the money was there. And I think it's actually safer now to have that extra division so that the maximum now is actually higher because the boxers are getting bigger, they're getting taller. You go back to Joe Louis. What was he 6'3"? He's about 14 stone. Now, if you look at the boxers, they're massive. They're 6'7", and they're about 18, 19 stone.
Yeah,
it's not fair to be.
No, it's not.
Like guys like that.
I agree, and at the time when they moved the original 190 cruiserweight limit up to 200, it did make sense at the time because there wasn't many fighters that was 6'6", 6'7", that weren't slower than mud, It's a bit different now with the likes of, Tyson Furies, the Zhili Zhangs, the guys who can move and are huge. So, it makes sense to me to have another division there. But also fixing the huge 25-pound difference between light heavyweight and cruiser, that's too much.
Yeah, it is too much.
So 15-pound up there, and then what is it, 34 to the next one if they go from 190. So
well, that's what Roy Jones actually dropped. So when he came down to fight Tarvin, was it Tarvin in the rematch after he beat Ruiz?
Yeah, that's a big weight loss to come down and then expect to be not drained or maintain your stamina for the fight. It just can't be done in those big weight divisions. I mean, it's not a big deal if you're dropping down from 130 to 126 or 126 to 124. What's 4 pounds? I do realize the percentage of the body weight is a lot bigger at the smaller weights, but it still doesn't compare to a 200-pound man having to make 175. No way. It is what it is. Did you watch the Crawford and Brook fight last weekend?
I did. I watched it live.
You enjoyed it?
I did. I thought it was a great fight. Yeah. I
thought it was a good fight too. And do you give Terence Crawford full credit for stopping Brook quicker than Triple G?
Well, this is the way I look at it. I don't actually look at Triple G. I look at the Spence fight. Spence stopped him, was it 8 rounds? 9 rounds?
Yep.
Right. And the way I look at it is how effective, how dangerous, how durable was that version of Kell Brook that Crawford fought. And if we say 50% all round, then he should have stopped him in 4 rounds. So in my eyes, he got the job done in the right amount of time.
Fair enough. Yep. I'm kind of in that boat. I do give Terence Crawford all the credit for stopping Kell Brook. I thought it was going to be a case of, the usual download for Terence Crawford in the first 2 rounds, maybe lose the first 2, and then start picking it up gradually, start getting to Brook at round 5, round 6, and stop him around 8 or round 9. Mm-hmm. But it was evident to me when Brook got caught with that stiff jab and it just about knocked him out, that his punch resistance isn't what it used to be.
No.
I'm not trying to take credit away from. Oh, no, he didn't. No, well, that's another thing with age as well, isn't it? Reflexes are one of the first things to go.
But it was an unconventional punch. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it was.
It's like a 1-inch punch kind of over the top, but real range.
Yeah. But yeah, like I say, I'm not trying to take anything away from Terence Crawford for beating a guy who isn't what he used to be. But at the same time, nobody's ever done anything like that to Kell Brook, with pretty much one punch finish the fight. It was an accumulation against Triple G. It was accumulation against who was the other guy he fought? Was it at 154?
Carson Jones.
No, he lost to someone else at a higher. Oh no, it was Errol Spence, but that was pretty much a prime Kell Brook. That's why it took Errol Spence longer to get him out of there. But that was accumulation, and he was doing okay in that fight until he got his face busted up. So, man, I just want to see Crawford and Spence get it on. I'm sick of how many years has it been? I've been talking about it. It's ridiculous. But
hopefully we won't need any more car crashes.
Yeah. I don't think Errol Spence needs to take any more L's to Ferrari Spiders. I'm sure the dentist won't mind if he does, but
I'll tell you one thing. For a car that was going over 100 miles an hour, that kid, he bounced as well. because he must have flown out of the car.
Yeah. If you watch on the pictures, you can see him fly out of the car. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he looks coming back against Danny Garcia too, because that's his first fight back. Is he going to be the same dude? I mean, he says he was all tickety boo finding Danny, but he didn't speak in the media for a long time. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I reckon he must have had some speech damage. Maybe that's maybe why he didn't speak.
Surely it can't have just been embarrassment for his teeth being smashed. Surely not. I mean, fighters are fighters. They get their faces mangled quite often. So, yeah. Hopefully Crawford and Spence can sort. Yeah, I hope it's going to get sorted out. It's just a comment in the chat there from Phil Carl Roberts. And apparently Terence Crawford's contract with Top Rank is coming to an end soon. Is it a possibility he may go to PBC just to get that fight? What do you reckon?
I reckon he's better off anywhere apart from Top Rank. Oh, he's better off just leaving Bob because Bob's a dickhead.
I wouldn't mind seeing him being a free agent. Just have a manager. When you sign a fight contract, then the promoter of the fight gets a slice of the pie anyway. Maybe just not as big a slice as they would get. But Spence v. Crawford is a huge fight. It's going to make a lot of money. I'm sure a promoter wouldn't mind taking 2% less to get that fight made because the percentage they're going to get from both guys is going to pay the bills anyway. So let's see it, Al Heyman. Get it done because I guarantee you that Errol Spence ain't going nowhere. He ain't leaving PBC. So, yeah. Any other fights you'd like to bring up, past or coming up, that you want to talk about, Tommy?
Let me think. So the rematch, that's off because apparently he's got COVID. Is that right?
Yeah, apparently he's out of hospital now as Povetkin. So I'll just have a look. I don't think it's rescheduled yet, but they were looking at January 30th for that. Dillian White box rec. Nah, it's not rescheduled yet, but they're looking at January 30th, so that'll be after Christmas.
When's the Pulev? Oh, sorry, the AJ Pulev fight.
That's on the 12th of December.
What are your predictions for that?
Pulev get banged out in 5 rounds.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to last that long. I could see AJ maybe being a little bit cautious to see what Pulev's got in the first round, maybe 2 rounds. But as soon as he starts pouring it on, I don't think Pulev's going to be able to cope. But
how many rounds did it take Vlad to get Pulev out of there?
11, I think.
Is it?
I think. Oh, maybe that was Pulev getting Dimitrenko out of there, actually. Let's have a look.
I think he stopped him with a left hook.
He did. Pulev was having some success in the first half of the fight with his jab, or the first little bit. And then I think Vlad decided, okay, I'm not going to try and jab with you. I'll left hook you instead. And then Pulev was screwed. He had nothing to come back for. Nothing to come back to. Once his jab's nullified, he's screwed. Just trying to find that fight, Kevin Johnson.
Oh yeah, and still you guys.
Sorry, just yelling at my boy again. Here it is, Vladimir Klitschko. Oh, it was 5 rounds. It was much less.
Oh.
Yeah, it was KO in 5.
So AJ should do it in 2.5.
Oh, you reckon? Yep. Well, quite possibly, man. Quite possibly. I mean, AJ's game has been getting tools added to it as he goes along. So it's quite possible, man. I mean, I'd like to see AJ pour it on, though. He's had a couple of, well, that last fight against Ruiz, he was being extremely cautious. Hopefully, he's not going to stick totally to that game the whole time. But we'll see what happens. I think Pulev will get banged out in 5 or less.
If AJ and Fury fight, let's say they fight next year, do you reckon AJ will come in the chiseled version, or do you think he'll come in heavier? Because Fury's a big guy now.
I think he'll be chiseled. To be honest, I think he'll be about 240 flat. I think he's going to need his speed, but I don't think he wants to be too lean. Otherwise, he'll drop some power, and if he can get to Fury, he's going to need it. But
he's going to need the weight in the clinches, though.
Well, yes, and it's pretty tough for AJ to compete with the footwork to get away from a clinch. He can't. Yeah, he wants to be in the pocket to fight Fury. He doesn't want to be right on the outside. He's got the reach disadvantage. He doesn't want to be right on the inside. Well, he wants to fight on the inside, but then if he gets in there,
Fury's definitely going to have the upper hand, close range.
Yeah, the problem is, if Fury's smart, as soon as AJ gets in on his chest, he's going to tie him up and put his weight on him.
Yeah, but I reckon AJ still have one hand free, and he'll just bang to the body. Because we haven't really seen Fury's body being tested yet. I mean, he took a couple of decent blows from Wilder in the first, but nothing consistent. Agreed.
It's pretty hard to get to his body because he's got such good feet and such long arms.
But that's why you have to get him in the corner.
Yeah.
The way, was it Schwartz? No, Wallen.
Yeah. Wallen really did really well. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he did. I mean, he did lose the fight ultimately, but
still a close fight though.
Yeah, I didn't like the fact that he was trying to rub his jab hand into Fury's cut. That was pretty dirty. But besides that, he did pretty well. I'm interested to see where Otto Wallen goes next. I don't think he's had a fight since then. I'm gonna look that up.
No, I think he had to have one. It was on schedule.
Otto Wallen.
Is he really 6'5"?
Yeah, he's 6'5". He's no little unit. Oh, he has fought since then. He fought Travis Kaufman. I remember that. Travis Kaufman's retired now too, I think, after that. And that was the only fight he had, Otto Wallen. That was TKO in 5. Excuse me for 1 sec again. Sorry, dude.
Sorry, man.
Little bugger's getting too excited. Yes, so yeah, were you thinking Pulev may go longer than 5? Are you serious about 2.5?
No, well, I think he probably won't want it to go any more than 5. Let's put it that way. He doesn't want to look worse than St. Vlad did.
Agreed.
You won't want to take any unnecessary risk just to try and get him out of there in a round or two early. It will already be foolish too, I think.
Yeah, I think he'll want to give his hype train a bit of a boost again too, eh?
Mm-hmm.
After that decision win over Ruiz. I mean, I think he probably could have got Ruiz out of there later on in the fight, especially the condition Ruiz was in. But
but what I didn't like was he came in. What weight did he come in? Was it 237?
I think it was about 237. Yeah, that's pretty light for AJ, but
what I didn't like is when he was actually being hit, it was actually moving his whole body because he was so light.
That's a good point. I don't think
Just didn't have enough.
Pulev hits hard enough to move him like that, but let's have a look. Anthony Joshua. There he is. His weight in his last fight was 237 on the dot, man. So yeah, that's a little bit too light. Yeah, between 240 and 245, I think covers most bases for AJ.
I think what AJ's going to have to do now is something similar to what Lewis did. I mean, Lewis kind of fluctuated. He manipulated his weight to suit the fighter.
Yeah.
And he was very good at that. Matching his weight.
Turn your voice down or the Xbox goes off. No, you didn't. Sorry. Bloody kids.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What happened there? Jono, did you just put yourself backstage? What is going on?
Hey, I'm back.
There you're back.
Sorry about that. Closed the wrong window. New to the StreamYard thing, still figuring it out.
That's good. I was feeling abandoned.
It's okay, Tommy. I'm here. All right. So any other fights you'd like to cover before we think about closing this down? Doesn't have to be heavyweight, mate. Any fight you want. If you wanted to talk about one.
No, I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done as well. A quick little comments about Junior Farr and Joseph Parker, which is on the same day as Anthony Joshua, but for you guys in the UK, it'll be like 9 o'clock in the morning. It'll be on, and then you'll get the Joshua card in the evening over there. And for us here in New Zealand, we'll have Parker and Farr on the Saturday night, and we'll have AJ and Pulev Sunday morning. So it's out good for both of us, really. It's just not so good for the States.
Well, they're spoiled. So
they've been spoiled for the last 2 bloody decades, so it's all good. Got to share. All right, man. Thanks for dropping in, Tommy. I appreciate it. And if everybody hasn't already, make sure you get over to Tommy Temper. Well, you've got another channel now, don't you?
Yeah, but I'm not really going to reveal that until I've done a few things. But it's the same one. I just renamed the other one. So,
okie dokie.
Yeah.
All right. So, go check out Tommy Temper's stuff. He's got some really cool memes, some funny shit. All right, bro.
Cheers,
take it easy. We'll catch y'all next time. Big shout out to everybody in the chat as well. Phil Carl Roberts, always a regular. Good to have you in, brother. Wow, it's all Phil Carl Roberts down the bottom of the chat anyway.
Wrong one, bro.
Oh, the Bronze Plumber in the house. Sorry I missed you earlier, man. Good to have you in. 190 to 210 would be better. Yeah, my initial Thoughts on a Bridger division, as they've named it, was 190 to 215. So similar thoughts there, man. What else have we got here? Stephen 4722, otherwise known as Mala 2243. Good to have you in, brother. What do you say? Ruiz Wilder will be a good fight. Ruiz gets inside, he will destroy Wilder. I tend to think along the same lines. However, getting inside on Wilder with that huge reach disadvantage could be a problem for Ruiz. We'll see what happens. But I thought that was a fight that Wilder should have had either early in his title reign or on his way up. It never happened. And I believe there's a reason why he didn't take on Ruiz. Figure that one out for yourself. Amanda Solo, good to have you in, man. Appreciate you dropping in. Big shout out to Adam Fahey for dropping in earlier. Always a pleasure having him on. I was really hoping we might get some inside information from him about who David Naika might fight. He tends to come up with some good information about these sorts of things, but unfortunately not this time. But the announcement for that can't be too far away, I imagine. David Naika's pro debut on the Junior Far versus Joseph Parker card. And I think that's just about all the shout-outs I need to give. Phil Carl Roberts, always a pleasure having him in. Oh, Vader D in the house. For the Babbitt. Oh, yeah, I read that one earlier. 15-2 on Babbitt decision. And Tom Little is the best shape I've ever seen. Yeah, well, certainly the shape could help him. But we'll see what happens in that fight. It's coming up this weekend. Tom Little, Alan Babbitt, and Fabio Wardley versus Richard Latte. And that's on the card headlined by Conor Benn versus Sebastian Formella. So, yeah, that'll be on Sunday morning, New Zealand time. Make sure you don't miss it. So, thanks for dropping in, everybody. Sorry about the bit of a shambles, getting used to the StreamYard, just giving it a blast. But we got there in the end. So, this is what it is. Hope you've enjoyed. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll catch you next time. I'm John O from Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. Phil! Look at me, I deliver.